Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the VAR You Serious podcast, episode 16. Back at it again, and we got an action-packed episode for you guys. Dad, big day for us. Arsenal getting the win over Chelsea. How do you feel?
I'm feeling good. They're really on a run right now, and just so much exciting soccer over the last week or so. I mean, not just Arsenal, but really around the league and around the world, to be honest with you. So just continual excitement and enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot to enjoy right now in the world of football. So we'll jump right into it, Dad. And this kind of goes with who we just talked about in Chelsea. But the big thing for today is why are managers being sacked so fast? You're seeing a trend across Europe, especially with the big clubs, Dad. I mean, we just saw Real Madrid let go of their coach. We talked about it last episode. Chelsea, Manchester United, Spurs after Ange won a trophy. Ten Hag won a trophy and got let go immediately. I mean, there's so many coaches and managers getting let go of so quickly. And what do you think is really doing this? Do you think it's on the players, or do you think it's on the ownership, or what's the driving factor here, Dad?
Well, I mean, I think it's mostly on the owners, to be honest with you. I really feel like these guys, and I think it's mostly guys. I know there's a couple of women getting really into the women's game, especially, but I think they don't understand the game. And I think it's all about making money, and it's making a name or a bigger name for the organization. And whatever the newest, shiniest toy is out there, no patience. This idea that, well, just bring the next guy in and he'll make it work. I think it's a real lack of understanding of what it takes to win and to win consistently, and
Yeah.
a lack of patience.
No, absolutely. And I think you're spot on with that. And I think we talked about that with Chelsea and Manchester United last episode, especially that ownership is an issue. But to see a very established club like a Real Madrid even jumping the gun with a Xabi Alonso, I mean, they historically don't give managers a lot of time. Fair enough. But Xabi Alonso's record wasn't even that bad. He had 6 losses, I think, in total.
Okay?
I'd like to put it more on players, in some situations, and especially in the Real Madrid situation.
Yeah.
I think players are very stuck up this day and age. They know they can make money themselves, do things themselves, and prop themselves up without consequences. And I think that's what we're seeing right here. I think guys like Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. are quite honestly prima donnas. They don't know how to play into a manager's, tasks of them because they've never been asked to do anything. They're always told to go do their thing.
Yeah.
Go do what you do. But then when a tactician like Xabi Alonso comes in and tells them to do this and do that, they basically ignore him. I mean, there's videos of it online, Dad. I don't know what you think about that, especially being a coach yourself. Do you think players can have a real impact, especially if they just don't want to listen?
Well, I've dealt with that a bit myself as a coach, and I think you're being kind in some ways, saying that they're prima donnas. I think they're entitled brats, and
Totally.
they've been treated a certain way their whole life, and they've been held up on a pedestal, and you get all those entitled brats together, and getting them to sort of buy into a culture, buy into a coach's style. And like you said, Alonso is perfectly successful coach, plenty successful enough. And they basically ran him out of there. And I think you were texting me like, who are they going to get, especially right now, that's better than Alonso? And even this summer, if they have a caretaker manager, like who are they going to get? Who are they going to get?
And Dad, that's more to my point of why, yes, ownership is at fault. They make the decision, right? That's first
Ultimately,
and foremost. But there is no new shiny toy to bring in. Like United and Chelsea and Real Madrid have not brought in have
had a
not brought
little,
in shiny new toy.
sorry, I had a little lighting issue there.
All good.
Keep going.
But yeah, they have not brought in a shiny new toy to play with. I mean, we're talking Rosinier for Chelsea, Carrick for United, and
Yep.
Arbeloa for Madrid, who is a mid right back for them at best. Like, who the hell are we talking about right now? It's not like you're bringing Carlo Ancelotti back to the
Right.
Bernabeu, right? Like, it's so different that what they're doing right now. It's like, what is the actual goal here? Are you just trying to please your assets, which are the players, or are you simply thinking there is better out there? That's why I'm so confused. And Dad, maybe this is a thing that we see in all sports, but do you think squad power has overtaken coaching or managerial authority?
Well, I think with some of these big clubs you're talking about, it clearly has. I think managers are they're pawns and they don't have the power they maybe once had. And I'm not saying these guys should have power like a Sir Alex Ferguson, right? But they, from what I understand, and I'm sure every situation's a little bit different, but it seems to me that managers more than ever have minimal power, maybe even minimal day-to-day decision-making power in some cases.
From both
And so
sides, from
right,
both
and so
sides, players and ownership.
right, and so how are you supposed to make things worse when you know that you're kind of a puppet and the players know that you're kind of a puppet? That makes it really difficult, and then you layer in things like, a lack of patience and pressure from fans, um, and it's a disaster in the making.
It really makes you admire. I mean, and this is sounds biased, but it makes you admire what clubs like Arsenal have done in the last few years, and clubs who have stuck with managers and made it work. And you've seen more of a mutual relationship. I mean, Arteta had some horrid runs of games at the beginning of
Yep,
his career with Arsenal, but they stuck with it. They had a shared vision rather than one vision and another, right? And I think that's what we're missing now is there's no shared vision with these clubs. And I think one other piece of all of this, Dad, that we're missing is there didn't used to be the amount of social media and attention on these guys as there is now.
yep.
We're doing it right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but we're doing it right now. Fan pressure, people online, social media and everything on it is an asset to these clubs now. Digital media is an asset. And if people are against them and their social media and what's going on with that club, it hurts the overall club, which hurts the overall bottom line for these guys. Do you think I feel like that's a valid point.
Absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. I mean, how much it plays into all of it, I don't know percentages or whatever, but it is absolutely, in the top 5, if not the top 3 reasons for what's going on. And so, I mean, you probably know more having worked at West Ham as far as how these teams monetize things like social media and whatever. And, you know, I don't get it. Like, look at the top teams, at least for right now in the Premier League, right? Arteta's been there, what, 5, 6 years?
Yeah.
Guardiola's been there for what, 12 years or something at
I think
Man City?
around 10. Yeah.
How long has Emery been at Aston Villa? Is this is like his 4th season?
Third or fourth max,
Right.
probably.
Well, and these days, 3 or 4 seasons is an eternity,
Eddie
right?
Howe's been at Newcastle probably for 5 years now.
And obviously Newcastle hasn't had quite the success that some of these other teams, and I mean, good on Chelsea for managing to stay in the top half of the table, possible Champions League with all of their turmoil. But that's the exception right now in the Premier League, not the rule.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the fact is as long as they stay competitive enough, but some of these clubs aren't staying competitive enough anymore. And I think that's where the real issue lies here. And truly, Dad, I think my personal solution to this issue is there is no solution. There legitimately is no solution. I racked my brain for the last couple days thinking about this prompt, and and what do we do to keep managers in the job more, kind of create better foundations at every club? It's like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. If this is what's happening now, it's already going. The train's already moving. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if you feel the
Yeah,
same, but I think they missed the stop. It's going, and it's not going to turn back. I mean, it's a power struggle that I think has moved on from what it used to be.
clearly.
And you can
And
see it with old Manchester United players still calling Sir Alex Ferguson like he's their freaking grandpa, and like they
yeah,
have to ask for permission for everything from him. That's what it used to be. It's not like that anymore. You're never gonna see a player do that again, Dad.
I think it's highly unlikely at this point, or it's going to be rare.
So let the coaching carousel keep going then, I guess. It keeps it entertaining for us and gives us more to talk about here. So I'll take it.
Absolutely.
But Dad, we are back to one of our favorite segments of the week here after one big thing. It's underdogs of the week, but Dad, this week we had to do it different because what a week of football we had in all the cup competitions around Europe. Have
Crazy.
have to start with the biggest one. Macclesfield beating Crystal Palace 2-1 in the FA Cup, largest ever upset in the FA Cup. Then moving on to France, Paris FC, the next door neighbor to PSG, knocking them out of the Coupe de France. Unbelievable scenes there as well. Then you also have Wrexham. We got the Hollywood team as usual coming in, beating Nottingham Forest on penalties in the FA Cup,
Yeah.
kind of extending, their whole thing, just the theatrics of it, which is fantastic. And then today, Dad, just to add the cherry on top, we have Albacete, I believe I'm pronouncing that right,
Yep.
beating Real Madrid 3-2 right after Xabi Alonso gets sacked. And I think that's a sucker punch to them after what they did. But Dad, some of these are crazy upsets. And I
Yeah.
don't know if any of these to you mean more than the other, but is there one that's standing out to you and just feels more impactful?
I mean, obviously with Wrexham, we all know Wrexham and the TV show and all that kind of stuff, and it's great. And they're climbing up the championship table. I know this was FA Cup, but they're in
Yeah,
ninth or 10th place in the championship, and so they're doing their thing. But I mean, I think you got to go with Macclesfield, right? I mean, what
unbelievable.
fifth or sixth tier team? Uh,
6.
Knocking out a Premier League club is insane. I mean, right? This is the whole point of the FA Cup, right? And, sort of, well, in NFL football, we say having any given Sunday. But, right? I mean, this doesn't happen often, but this is fantastic. Not if you're a Palace fan, but if you're a soccer fan. Like, this is super cool. I think you're the one who sent me at least one reel of one of the guys on Macclesfield is like a PE teacher because obviously
Yeah.
the pay in a six-tier team is nothing. And these guys have to work other jobs. Like, dude, that is a movie. Like that beats Wrexham
Yeah.
at this point for me.
Yeah, it's a story. It's not to say Wrexham isn't genuine because it is, but this is such a genuine story of some guys getting out on a field and playing a game and coming out on top. And Dad, to your point of the NFL, I've been describing it to some of my friends who aren't as into soccer, like, not to be disrespectful to Macclesfield either, but I've literally described it as a high school varsity football team essentially being in an NFL football team. I mean, that's
Yeah,
almost the level we're talking about here, or maybe like a lower FCS football team beating an NFL team. Like,
right.
staggeringly difficult, unbelievable scenes. And I thought, the coolest thing about it, Dad, was that it was at Macclesfield and in that small stadium, AstroTurf Field. It's a club that has gone under before and got revived. And I think
Oh,
just what a story. Wayne Rooney's brother is the manager. Like, how many different weird things could have gone into this? I mean, just so cool, Dad. I think it's got to be maybe the most impactful one of the week, don't you think?
I mean, I think it is for me, and I'm sure if we ran a poll or something, I would imagine that most people who know anything about soccer, it's almost like you can't not vote for this, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
Paris FC, that's kind of cool. Like I think the stadiums are so close, and Paris FC is sort of the little brother, the little brother of something like PSG. So that's cool. Wrexham, obviously, that's interesting, but they're a competitive championship level team now. It's an upset, but it's not like whoa. So I
Well,
just think I just think it Macclesfield is classic Hollywood, like, and, we'll see. They'll probably get their butts kicked in the next round, but
they play
mm,
Brentford, more Premier League opposition,
do
so
they? Yeah, I have a
at
feeling.
Tech, I believe, so
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I sure hope the folks that are fans of Macclesfield enjoyed it thoroughly, and they will be talking about it for years and or decades.
it's a memory of a lifetime, Dad, and, I definitely put it in high regard as well, but in a little bit of a different way. I think the most impactful short-term upset was Albacete beating Real Madrid today. Um, Going back to our first segment, I absolutely love it. Those stuck-up players, entitled players, the whole club is entitled top to bottom. They did this fired nutritionist actually did a podcast talking about her time at Real Madrid and how everything is so ingrained and she wasn't allowed to do anything. It's all the Real Madrid way. It's all kind of an old boys club, which isn't shocking whatsoever. But seeing a team that is literally, I believe, in the relegation zone or almost in the relegation zone in Spain beat Real Madrid in the cup right after they sack a great manager, I think that's a scene right there as well, Dad. Like, you couldn't ask for a more hilarious turnaround than 2 days later, them losing to a team that they would never lose to in another 100 years from now, right? Like, there's no chance.
Right, and the players. I mean, they're clearly in the club's in disarray, and I'm sure they'll right the ship quickly here. This will if this isn't a wake up call, I don't know what is. I mean, I don't necessarily. I see what you're talking about. I don't necessarily get joy out of it, but you want some of these players, some of these prima donnas and titled brats, whatever you want to call them. You want them to get a wake up call. Like, listen, you may be really good, but you're not a good team. Good players don't make a good team
Yeah.
necessarily. And they're gonna have to find out the hard way if they keep this crap up. So
Yeah.
um we shall
I
see.
mean I personally think it's great because I don't like Real Madrid, and what it kinda stands for. I mean, they're a great club, but I think it's a lot of entitlement all around that's being finally shown out. They're finally kind of running to the end of the run here for them a little bit, and they're scrambling to figure it out. It's pretty clear. They're scrambling to find out what to do. I mean, Barcelona's beating them. They're not they're they're still doing all right in the league, but Barcelona's on top. Like, I don't know. I enjoy it because I think it's a team that needed to be knocked down a peg. And to the players, as much as I think they're entitled, I do hope the best that they figure it out, become a team. I think it'd be cool to see, and it would be another story if the second half of the season they kind of pulled it together. Um, but Dad, so many unbelievable underdogs this week. It's hard to choose one amazing one. So congrats to all the little guys this week. It was truly the little guy week, I think.
Absolutely. John, come on over. We, my father-in-law is here. We're doing a little recording. I'll quick show you. No, I'll just show you what we're doing here. It's okay. It's we're a small outfit hoping to
Yeah.
grow. You can say hi to your grandson here.
Hey, hi, Dylan.
Hey, John. How's
How
it
are you?
going?
I
Good,
pretty
good.
much agree with both of what you were saying, but you know what I really it's good seeing you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
John.
you got the
Good
like,
to
the
see you.
script here,
Oh, yeah.
and you got the ring light here, and
Yeah.
real professional setup
Yeah,
down here.
yeah, I always like you when I see you.
Thank you. I
Up on the
appreciate it.
screen. YouTube must be recognizing my interest because it comes up automatically a lot of the times now.
I
So,
love it. No,
yeah,
that's a good sign. That's what we
Yeah, he's
need.
liking all of our stuff, so
It's great.
one of our biggest fans right here, folks.
all
I
right.
love it. I
See you,
love it.
man.
Thank you,
All right.
John.
Good night. All right, what are we moving on to here?
All right, and we are on to the VAR You Serious Moment of the week. I don't know. I think all of our segments are our favorite. I keep saying favorite, but I think they're all our favorite at the end of the day. But, Dad, we're actually talking about a good reffing one this week, sticking true to the VAR name. Um, Context here. Maybe you haven't seen it, maybe you have. So a little bit funny. Manchester City obviously beat Newcastle, but they had a goal disallowed because of Holland interfering with one of the center backs, and they called it offsides. Would have been Semenyo's second of the match. He looks like an unbelievable signing already, but neither here nor there. Funny enough, I saw someone post today a similar situation where on Ben White's goal on the corner, Gyökeres was impeding a center back on the other side of him in this fan's eyes. And I think it just goes to show the officiating inconsistencies right now, not just like across games, but across the different cup competitions. Because the interesting factor here, there's no semi-automatic offsides in the Carabao Cup. So they can't take it really to review as they would in the Premier League. So what I think is difficult here, Dad, and I'd be curious to know your thoughts. We have the same rules and same laws across the sport, but then we're missing the technology in all the games. And I know it's hard to implement, but I think this causes issues in every competition, don't you think?
Listen, I love the fact that they're not really using VAR and it's more the human element again. And listen, I mean, I don't think Manchester City was ever in any, danger of losing today. Arsenal, I mean, I guess at one point it was 2-1, but I don't think they were really in any danger of losing today. I don't think these so-called mistakes change the outcome of the game. And honestly, it's probably a more enjoyable experience for people both in person in the stadium and those watching on television. You know, VAR is just becoming this cumbersome tool that doesn't even get it right enough. And so, yeah, you get these inconsistencies even with the technology. And I think you have to live with it, right? Sometimes it's going to go your way and sometimes it's not. I don't think there's any great
Totally.
conspiracy against one team.
And no, and I think, it's a classic Pep flare up of him still being pissed off after his team wins. That's just him, right? Saying these things. I think the bigger issue for me, Dad, and I hear what you're saying, and I agree. I mean, I think the game is sometimes more exciting and less cumbersome without it. But I, it, if we're going to have it in one competition, and then 3 days later not have it in another competition, and then 3 days later none of it at all. I don't know, it's just like there's too many variations of the game we all love, is kinda what I'm seeing. That's how
I
I
don't have a
feel.
problem with it. I mean, you were saying Macclesfield has turf. I mean, who plays on turf in England?
I
Like
mean, no one,
hardly
right?
anybody, right? So that is part of like, home field advantage, for example. It's, I don't want it to be uniform and perfect and the same every single time. I want big stadiums. I want small stadiums. I want VAR or not. And like, let the teams react and adapt to all situations. This idea of making it perfect. I mean, you ever watch old footage, even 20 years ago, but certainly 30 or 40 years ago? The pitches were in such poor shape.
Yeah.
You see brown grass and you see mud in front of the goal mouth. Like, come
Yeah.
on. They don't need
Yeah.
perfection in the exact same temperature
Yeah.
controlled setting.
No, Dad, and I mean, just to be honest with you, I completely agree. I don't think it needs to be perfect, but here's where I will draw the line. I'm fine, sure, we'll keep it the way it is, but where it becomes silly is when it's 2 Premier League teams playing in that competition that do have the ability to put all the technology on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all 4 teams left in this competition have the technology. So yeah, maybe it doesn't happen until it's only the teams that have it or until the semifinals. Here's another variation we could add in to make it fun. Once it's a semifinals, all the technology's on because it's the big games and you want the decisions to go the right way. Maybe that adds a different layer of jeopardy because you can get it right. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same thing I was saying earlier, like with the train going by, and it's already happened. Like the technology train we've already gotten on, and we can tell it's not going to go anywhere. Like no one has any plans, I think, to get rid of VAR. So I don't know. I think we need to utilize it when available, is kind of what I'm just saying.
I disagree. Not in these particular competitions. Once the rules are set, they don't change regardless of who's playing. I mean, it is sort of a weird comparison, but like it reminds me of suburban America, right? It's like the same strip malls with the same stores. It's like cookie cutter. You might as well be in anywhere America. It's the same thing. I don't want the stadiums to be the same. I don't want everything to be the same. Like, right? I mean, I'm glad like teams, for example, there's a little bit of flexibility in the width and the size of the pitch. Like, I want there to be some differences. I don't want complete uniformity. I just don't want it. And so
Well, but
for the Carabao Cup,
I didn't ask for complete uniformity.
but you're trying to go back to VAR, which of course on this show we don't even really care for, and we have issues with it. So for me, if there's a competition where it's essentially not being used, awesome, because I can enjoy the old school way of doing things. And
I
if I
know,
really
but
like VAR, I'll worry about it in the Premier League when they're playing a Premier League game.
I think what you're misunderstanding is they did have VAR in both of these fixtures. VAR is in the League Cup. But what wasn't used today, this is why I think it's silly, because they're already using the VAR in it.
Right.
Okay. Okay, we have semi-automated offsides there. Shouldn't we just use it? Like we can't just flick on the light switch and turn it on? Like that's all I'm saying.
No, right.
I
They're
just
not
think if you're
using
already
all the
using the
features.
technology, if you're already using the technology, like, okay, so we're not going to use all of it now. Like it, I get what you're saying though. I do enjoy the variability. It does make it more of an enjoyable watching experience. I just think from a logical perspective, Dad, it's kind of silly that like we're like, okay, but now we're gonna turn this off. You know,
All
it
right.
just
So
like
all right,
yeah.
but you alluded to multiple competitions, and so maybe it's like, does Macclesfield have VAR in their stadium?
Well, so yeah, no, I was trying to stay specific to the Carabao Cup and what situation occurred, right? Because let's get back to what we were talking about. The Man City situation comparatively to the Arsenal situation, semi-automated offsides technology not being used, but VAR was being used.
Right. I
I
I
would say
I hear what you're saying, but for me, whatever the rules are for whatever reason, you stick with it the whole time. That's just the way it is. If you wanna complain about why they aren't using all the features, well, that's fine for next year's competition, but I like the fact that different competitions have different ground rules. I don't need it to be the same in every competition. That's my point. Eh, I like the fact that it's a little
that's
bit
fair.
different.
It sounds like you're going no penalty then.
No penalty. No, none.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I mean, I'm gonna give it a yellow card for sure, just because I think it should reffing should be consistent. Yes, other things should be variable, like the field, the stadiums, the differences in pitch, like, that's completely fine. I think reffing, all we do as fans is complain about the inconsistencies, let's keep the reffing and the officiating consistent. That's my argument. Nothing against the variability and the fun of the game. I think we already have so many issues here, so let's try and keep it more consistent. So yellow card for me on the VAR You Serious Moment of the week this week.
All right. Well, let's move on to parting shots. I think I'm taking the odd questions this week. I don't know what we did last week,
I
but
believe, yeah, you're answering the odds. So I'll go ahead and run first here, just because, yeah, I think that's where we're going. So something we haven't talked about here, Dad. Who will win AFCON? The final is set. Senegal or the host country, Morocco?
I'm going with Morocco. They haven't really won anything big in quite a long time. They are the hosts, so they have the home field advantage. I think they're a solid squad. I mean, don't get me wrong, Senegal is darn good, and they've won a lot lately. So they're the favorites, but I'm going the home field advantage underdog, Morocco.
I have to agree. Dad. And I think it's a final maybe people expected, so it should be a good one. But go ahead.
Will Real Madrid be better or worse without Xabi Alonso?
I think in the short term, Dad, they are going to be worse, just because I don't think Arbeloa really has it. I think in the long term, it will be better. There was too much pressure on him from the beginning. So short term, they're going to be worse. Long term, they're going to be better off, I think.
All right.
And moving to the next one, this is a pertinent conversation, and they might meet in a final here pretty soon. Who's going to win more trophies this year, Arsenal or Manchester City?
How about two each? Yeah, they could be meeting in quite a few finals or important games. Listen, I'd be okay if each club won two trophies. I would like the Premier League and the Champions League, and Manchester City can have the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Sound fair?
Well, I think it's fair enough, but we'll see if that's how it shakes out, right? It's still a lot of season left, so it should be fun to watch. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, I'm not gonna pronounce this correct, but will Liam Rosenier guide Chelsea into Champions League qualification?
I don't think so. They looked really poor today for the most part. I know they were missing a lot of players, but yeah, I don't see it. I think he's unfortunately one of the puppets we've talked about that's been brought in as a manager. So I'm gonna say no, they're not. Chelsea's not gonna make the Champions League this year. But Dad, will Michael Carrick for Manchester United impress enough to keep his job past this season?
Highly unlikely. I think he's a perfectly good caretaker manager for the rest of the season. I've already seen rumors of Pochettino going there after the World Cup. I only know a little bit about Carrick's time at Middlesbrough. My understanding is a lot of great attack, but also gave up a lot of goals. So at the very least, man, you could be really exciting, high-scoring games the rest of the season. I do not think he's a long-term answer.
I think you're probably right there, Dad. I think you're probably right for sure.
All right. Our last parting shot of the day is Ryan Shirky the signing of the season?
I mean, for the cost, I think around 30 million and already 18 goals and assists in all competitions. He's got to be one of the front runners. I mean, he looks like a world-class talent. So fair play to Man City for finally getting a good deal, maybe not overpaying for someone like they usually do. So good on them. I'm going to say yes, he is signing the season so far.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of episode 16, maybe.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you got it spot on, Dad. But good episode today. I think a lot of fun topics covered. A lot of intricacies to this game, as you guys can tell. Every time we talk, I think we just find out more and more about what's going on in the game week to week, and we have a good time with it. So hope you guys enjoyed it as well, and we will catch you all next week for some more VAR You Serious. Have a good one, everyone.